You are now tuned into Chicago Unfiltered. I'm your host, Molly Baller. Chicago Unfiltered is where the truth don't need a filter. We talk it how it is. No sugar, no spin. Straight from the gut. Tonight, we got culture, chaos, power, and the kind of karma that spin the block twice. The world we living in is wild. People break bread with you on Monday and flip the whole table over on Friday. And the crazy part, it's not always the strangers. It's the people you thought you knew. Tonight, we're talking about what happens when the mask slips off. Some of these stories are heavy, some are wild, but every single one is a reminder. You never really know people. Let's get into it. Let's start this one off a little different though. I want to start this one off with the culture. Before we get into all that madness, in 1992, right? I'm showing my age right now. I'm an 80s baby, born 86, so 92 wasn't that far away. Eddie Murphy dropped the movie. Oh, shout out to the Aries too. Eddie Murphy, one of those Aries kings too. Shout out to Aries. Eddie Murphy dropped the movie Boomerang. Some saw this as just another rom com, but for us, it was a statement. Black folks were wearing power on top of their suits. Shit, I call them power suits. Running companies, boardrooms, black excellence on full display. Sharp, clean, powerful.
Music? Music? I haven't been out with anybody in about 2 years. When you're alone as much as I am. See,
Marcus, you know you wrong. You no good.
let's go in the living room.
Girlfriend, hey.
I am Mr. Romance when I meet a woman, and then once I hit it, I lose interest, but that ain't my fault.
When I decided to take over this company, I considered you a prime asset. I don't have any panties on.
You're interested in her, right? I mean, look at her. She's fantastic.
I don't date men. I work with.
How long do you think it's gonna take you to bone that new executress? It's professional, totally professional. What you saying, man? It's gonna take a week?
Call me.
I don't believe this whole thing is happening to me.
Are you okay? Just concerned.
All up in my business.
Do I look like the kind of girl that would be prying?
Critics back then, man, critics back then called it a reverse world. They said it was unrealistic to see a whole cast of black executives. You heard me right. Black executives were unrealistic. That gives you a glimpse on how they look at you. So movies like Boomerang got pushed back. It got pushed back. They said that it was deemed unrealistic and they didn't like the all black cast.
What do you know about love? What do you possibly think you know about love? You know, I'm sick and tired of men using love like it's some kind of disease you just catch. Love should have brought your ass home last night.
Didn't you just hear me say I was sorry?
I heard you say you're sorry. You're sorry and you're tired. You don't love me. You don't love Jacqueline. You only love your damn self.
How could you say I never cared about you? You know, Jacqueline says that I'm a better person now, and I know I owe that all to you.
I'm out of here. I'll get the rest of my things later. Let me just tell you one more thing. I might not be all glamorous, and I don't have hair weaved all down my back, but let me tell you one great thing about me, all right? I've got heart. And you know the bad thing about having heart, Marcus? Is that it gets broken when you deal with people like you.
Holly Berry did her thing in that movie. Shout out her. Salute Holly. Then was a different time. 1992 was a totally different time. And at that point in time, I guess we weren't supposed to be looked at in a certain light. So they said it was unrealistic to see a whole cast of black excellence. Meanwhile, white billionaires been on the screen since the VHS tapes. Nobody said a word. But when it's us, oh, suddenly it's fiction. Suddenly, who's going to watch a movie with black executives and this and that? But I mean, time's proven that they were dead wrong, because black excellence is on full bloom right now. Full blossom.
I wanna see you. I wanna be you.
Why did they want us to be seen in this light?
I wanna show you, man,
My question.
that I need you. I want
I
your
understand the hate,
body till the very last
but is it necessary? Are we still going through the same type of hate right now? That's the thing.
and who can love you like me? Who can fix you like me? Who can, baby?
See, Eddie wasn't just acting, he was planting seeds. Boomerang walked so insecure, power, blackish, and all the rest could run. That film was a quiet revolution with the fly wardrobe attached to it. That's why they couldn't take it, because they knew if black people see a better image of themselves, then that's what they will portray. That's what they will go towards. If all I see is killing, robbing, drug dealing, then that's all we know. That's all we're going to do. People get it. The image is powerful. So you got to be careful what image you portray. On another note, while we're talking about black excellence, when you're a black man and you're trying to be excellent, you're going to be met with adversity. Let's get that clear. We understand it. It's been forever. We get it. People just be haters. It's just in them. We don't know why. We didn't put it there. People are just haters. And that comes to my next subject, my next segment. To black men being cut down, literally. Ohio, a 45-year-old woman kicks in her boyfriend's door and slices his nutsack open. My man probably thought it was going to be an argument. She came in like she was auditioning for Mortal Kombat. Do you hear me? But see, this ain't just some wild headline. It's reality.
Attention everyone, this smiling lady here is the testicle terrorist currently being hunted by Ohio authorities. On the night of October 7th, 45-year-old Janita Hoppings kicked in the door of her boyfriend's house in...
The arrest of a Toledo woman accused of breaking into a man's home then cutting one of his testicles. Toledo police looking for Janita Hopings. We're going to show you a picture from 2012 of Hopings. Police believe the 45-year-old woman went to the home of someone she knows yesterday, kicked open the door. The guy living there told police he heard someone breaking in, so he ran down the stairs, but he didn't have any clothes on. That's when Hopings allegedly attacked him, cutting one of his testicles. He had to go to the hospital for treatment.
She broke in that man's house, cut his balls open. The judge gave her a slap on the wrist, and now she at home. So did y'all hear about what that woman did up in Toledo, Ohio? October the 7th, 2025, 45 years old, Janita Hopkins forced her way into a man's house that she knows. The man heard the commotion and ran downstairs with no clothes on, and that's when Janita cut his balls with an unknown object. A warrant was issued for her arrest. She turned herself in. Her charges is felonious assault and aggravated burglary. She had her first court appearance yesterday, y'all, and guess what the judge did? She was released and placed on an electronic monitor. The judge also told her that she cannot have no contact with the victim. She is due back in court October the 16th, 2025 for her preliminary hearing. But the judge say that she don't have no previous charges or none of that. So I'm guessing that's why they released her on electronic monitor. But if you ask me, old boy won't be balling out for a while.
But see, like I said, this ain't just some wild headline. For black men, this kind of violence has a shadow. Castration was used during slavery to strip black men of their dignity, of their power, of their humanity. That pain runs through generations, even when folks don't say it out loud. And let's keep it real. Some people, especially online, might laugh, make jokes, memes, but it's not funny when it happens to someone you love. When it's your son, when it's your brother, your father, your uncle, then it's not a headline. Then it becomes war. If the roles were reversed, though, they throw the whole justice system at that man. When it's a man on the receiving end, suddenly folks get quiet. When a man's getting slapped, punched, domestic, you get the picture. It's she blacked his eye. Oh, she smacked this. She did that. She did. It's all fun and games until that man strikes back. Ladies, it's never cool to put your hands on anyone, let alone a man. Especially, I shouldn't even have to finish that. So that's why I say we got to be careful at what we laugh at. Because one day it might be right at your doorstep. It seems like the oppressor has already used and weaponized the woman against the black man anyway. I mean, it seems like they're doing, not all, some. It seems like they're doing the job. Everything that the oppressors used to do to black men, the black women are currently doing. We have literally modern day castration of a black man. And she got a slap on her wrist. I mean, I know I'm a male and I may seem biased. You may want to hear it from a woman's perspective.
Let's stop sugarcoating it. The U.S. government has been using black women as a tool. Let's stop sugarcoating it. The U.S. government has been using black women as a tool against black men for decades. And if you think I'm lying, let's run the receipts. welfare in the 60s and 70s, they told black women, we'll help you feed your babies only if the man isn't in the house. That's the man in the house rule. And that's a policy that directly ripped families apart. Then came the war on drugs. They flooded the black communities with crack cocaine. They locked the black men up on mandatory minimums and 3-strike laws. And who was left to struggle raising entire families alone? Black women. Meanwhile, they pushed out propaganda calling us strong and independent like that was empowering when it really was isolation. And they painted black men as lazy, dangerous deadbeats. Divide and conquer. That was the plan. They knew the black family was the backbone of our strength, so they made sure to break it. And the sad part, too many of us bought into the narrative. But it's time to break it. It's time to wake up. It's time to call it what it really is. Genocide by policy. They used us against our men. And the only way forward is for us to unlearn the lies and stand side by side again.
I totally agree with her. I totally agree. Like I said, you never really know people. Love is blind, but crazy got 20/20 vision with a blade these days. But let's go to the next segment. Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to my people out there in North Carolina and South Carolina doing y'all thing, man. Salute y'all, man. Prayers goes out to the town because it seems like a lot going on in Raleigh, North Carolina right now that nobody's really talking about. And in this one, a man in a hospital rips out his IV, y'all, and starts spraying HIV positive blood on doctors and nurses. Think about that. These are medical workers. They came to save lives, not dodge blood like it's a extra in a horror film or something like that. People are losing their minds. That kind of rage don't come out of nowhere. It brews, it waits, and when it snaps, it don't care who's in the way. That's the kind of war we in right now. We can't spot danger on sight no more. You used to be able to be like, damn, oh yeah, he crazy. Let me stay out his way. Oh yeah, she look crazy. Let me stay out her way. Now, you could be in a grocery store. You could be in a shopping mall and not know the person next to you about to open fire on a whole crowd of people. You wouldn't be able to tell. This is the world we're living in right now.
Yeah, Ashley, the arrest warrant details what started as a normal medical treatment process that quickly changed into a very dangerous and scary situation. It all happened right here behind me at the UNC Rex Hospital here in Raleigh. Back in March, UNC Rex wouldn't comment on specific patient or employee incidents, but they say violence against medical personnel like this is becoming a lot more common. According to the arrest warrant, Gilchrist was receiving a diabetic treatment here when he allegedly sprayed blood into the eyes of 2 hospital employees. It's unclear whether the blood sprayed is Gilchrist's or not, but the arrest warrant says the 2 hospital employees were caused physical injuries, including irritation and exposure to HIV. It's unclear whether those employees contracted HIV through this incident. Now, UNC Rex tells WRAL that protecting the health and safety of its employees is a top priority, and it'll work closely with its own security teams and law enforcement to do so and pursue charges when necessary. We also reached out to the Raleigh Police Department about why it took 6 months for them to arrest Gilchrist. They tell us Gilchrist was receiving medical and psychiatric treatment at the time of the incident, so they couldn't make that arrest until last month. But Gilchrist still remains behind bars on a $25,000 bond, and he's due back in court in early December. In Raleigh, Sean Gallagher, WR.
So this guy was receiving treatment for diabetes. How did he get blood Was it blood from the hospital? What is it, a bag of blood? Was it his blood from his body? He like made a hole and started spraying it on the nurses and the hospital staff. This is crazy. What really happened? Where did this guy get the blood from? And who was infected with HIV? Did it come from the blood bag that he sprayed? Did it come from his body where it sprayed from? Does the guy have HIV? There's so many questions.
Ain't no so many questions. The man got HIV and he was spraying the blood around, man. Simple as that. People are crazy these days. And you just don't know. You never know what a person will do. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. You never know. You just can't tell. There's no way to pinpoint it. These people out here are crazy, wilding out, doing drastic things. I'm talking about crash out culture to the 10th power. That's all it is. A whole bunch of crash outs. Speaking of crash outs, let's talk about the Waffle House. It seemed like people love to crash out at that Waffle House, man. Georgia at 2:30 a.m. If you ever been at a Waffle House that late, you know. It's either the best meal of your life or a live episode of World Star. Ain't no in between. So 5 teenage girls order an Uber. The driver pull up, grown man, 38. He says only 4 can ride in his car. They argue, and one of the girls slaps the driver in his face. Now, a level-headed man might call the cops, leave, whatever. But this dude, nah. He pulls out his gun and shoots a 16-year-old girl in the back and in her legs over seatbelts and one slap. One split second, a whole life has changed. Well, lives have changed. That's why I keep saying, trust ain't free. You don't know who's carrying heat and a temper in the same pocket, man.
Things got really heated. Dunwoody police are investigating a shooting that happened in the parking lot of this Waffle House on Chamblee-Dunwoody Road early Sunday morning. Sergeant Michael Cheek with Dunwoody PD says it all started when a group of teenage girls ordered an Uber to take them home around 2:30 a.m.
Uber driver arrives, and when he arrives, he has a vehicle that will not fit all 5 of them in the car. So all 5 of them try to get into the car, and he realizes he doesn't have enough room or enough seat belts for all of them to get in the car and be safe.
Investigators say the driver, 38-year-old Meredith Grundy, told the girls he could not transport all of them safely, and that's when an argument broke out. According to a police report, the girls became, quote, combative and began cussing at Grundy. Then one of them allegedly slapped him and said, quote, I'll kill you right now. The report says that's when Grundy grabbed his gun and fired 3 to 4 shots at the teen, striking her in the back and both legs.
Now that team was dead wrong for slapping that man. Why I say what I said earlier. You can't put your hands on men, ladies. You can't put your hands on men and then dictate how that man reacts. You can't dictate how a person is going to react to disrespect. It's just impossible. You don't know how a person is going to react to you putting your hands on that person. That person could have went through child abuse. That person could have been harmed as a child, went through different traumatic situations where if the next person touched me, I'm going to black out. And it just might be your day or someone that you love day because you put your hands on someone else. And to the man, You were dead wrong. He was dead wrong for shooting that girl like that. That's a child. That's someone else's child. It could have been his child. So, like I say, it's crazy and it's crash out culture. It seems like nobody has their screws tightened right now, and it's going on everywhere. I mean, you literally have people shooting kids. Speaking of shooting kids, Port Huron, Michigan. It's another wild one. A father shoots all three of his kids, kills his 17-year-old son, Caleb, his 13-year-old son, and 12-year-old daughter were left to fight for their lives. And this happened the same day he was being sentenced for a sex crime.
A 17-year-old died and his young brother and sister remain hospitalized tonight. The father is in custody, but so far he has not been criminally charged. The siblings were shot early Thursday morning at the Glenview Gardens apartments. Tonight, 7 News Detroit.
Now, why this man wasn't criminally charged at that time? This is what I mean. That man would have been black. Criminally charged? Man, he'd be lucky if he wasn't.
7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham is listening to the family who say this was a shock to them.
Victoria Frazier stopped by the Glenview Gardens apartments in Port Huron to retrieve some items for the Schmier family. Her niece and nephew are in the hospital being treated for gunshot wounds that investigators say their father inflicted.
The younger boy, he is off of the ventilator now. He's breathing on his own. They are going to try to have him get up and walk.
Frazier, who started this GoFundMe for the family, says 13-year-old Bentley suffered facial fractures. 12-year-old Kinsley's injuries are more severe.
The daughter, she does have a bullet lodged in the back of her spine, and they're saying that she's going to be paralyzed from the neck down.
Sadly, their 17-year-old brother Caleb was killed. Police say the suspect's wife and 19-year-old son Aiden managed to stop the attack. Loved ones say there were no signs something like this would happen.
He woke the kids up to go to school, and it was just a regular day, and then something just happened. Doesn't make sense. He was an amazing man, happy, outgoing.
But they say Jeff Schmier had been having a hard time.
Jeff was a good father. He did everything, bent over backwards for the family. Started having issues, searched out for medical help, mental help, and didn't get what he needed. Seemed like he needed more support, and he didn't get it.
Had a seizure, a stroke, and then he started having seizures after that, and that's why he ended up losing his job, and he's always been a provider for his family, but after that he wasn't able to.
This year he pled guilty to an indecent exposure incident in 2020. He was supposed to be sentenced the morning of the shooting. His family didn't want to speak on it, but they say there is more to the story. Schmier is expected to be arraigned on the fatal attack next week. Fatal attack next week.
Crazy. People are out here losing their rabbit ass mind, man. Why would you do something like that to your own children? In this situation, the monster wasn't outside the house. It was living in it. It's a different type of scary. It's a different type of evil. This type of evil don't wear a ski mask, though. It wears your own last name. Let's zoom out real quick. Let's bring it out. There's a lot of things going on in this world, and want people to be careful. You have to be careful. You have to be mindful. You have to use your brain. You have to be in the moment. We have a lot of distractions out here. We have things that will distract us from living. It's urgent, and we need to treat it as such. The Sinaloa cartel ain't playing corner boy games. This for my people that like to go abroad, like trips, like I do. They're allegedly putting hits on ICE agents, impersonating law enforcement, and walking across the border like VIP guests. And the worst part, they ain't even sneaking. Sometimes they being led through that month.
Thrives on absolute certainty, and this operation deliberately corroded that certainty. At press briefings, ICE officials called this a direct attack on public trust. Local police chiefs echoed the alarm. Departments across Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico began rolling out emergency measures, digital verification codes on officer IDs, QR-linked badges, encrypted radios with traceable signals. One commander warned bluntly, if criminals can copy our look, then technology must guarantee our identity. Prosecutors did not hold back. The suspects now face charges ranging from impersonating federal officers to trafficking controlled substances to conspiracy under RICO statutes. Stacked together, these crimes could mean life sentences. Federal attorneys emphasized that these were not symbolic charges. They were designed to send a message. Hijacking the image of law enforcement is not just fraud, it is an assault on the rule of law itself. But legal consequences are only half the story. The deeper wound is psychological. Communities function on a fragile pact. When police lights flash, citizens comply instantly. Compliance, in turn, depends on trust. Break that trust, and the system trembles. Already, advocacy groups report rising anxiety. Parents ask, should I pull over at night if I'm unsure? Truckers whisper stories of fake checkpoints. Every hesitation weakens safety, yet every blind compliance risks exploitation. It is a trap with no easy escape. The revelations have sparked debate in Washington. Some lawmakers push for federal funds to outfit every patrol car with GPS-verified ID systems, scannable in real time. Others warn about privacy concerns and overreach. Legal scholars suggest harsher sentencing enhancements when impersonation is tied to narcotics trafficking. Civil rights groups, meanwhile, argue that citizens need clear, accessible ways to verify stops, not just technology in the hands of police.
And that's true. If you only got technology in the hands of the police, what's stopping you from stopping somewhere at one of those checkpoints and never be seen again?
The debate is fierce because the stakes are not abstract. They play out every night on dark highways where real and fake lights blur together. Experts warn that what ICE dismantled was not an isolated trick. Evidence suggests cartels have industrialized deception, building recruitment pipelines, training manuals, and supply chains for fake equipment. In effect, impersonation became a business model, one that lowered risks, boosted shipments, and weaponized public obedience. What looks like a cruiser on a highway may be, in fact, a revenue stream for organized crime. As the dust settled, the images were stark. Rows of counterfeit uniforms stretched across evidence tables, fake badges stacked like poker chips, police cruisers stripped of their disguise. Yet behind every artifact lies a deeper question. 4 o'clock in the morning, when lights blaze in your mirror, who do you trust? ICE may have dismantled this network, but the warning lingers. When criminals can wear the badge and drive the cruiser, how can a community know who truly protects them?
This is a warning to every
That's a good
American,
question.
regardless of your political stance and regardless of your skin color. Do not travel to Cabo San Lucas or any other tourist attractive place in Mexico, let alone that the Sinaloa cartel has just released 2 banners that they hung over 2 bridges saying that they are threatening Kash Patel, Claudia Sheinbaum, and the American people who are traveling to their country. This is all caused because of the United States interfering with the illegal substance trafficking into the United States. When I posted that video the other day warning everyone that's planning on going there, I immediately began to receive several messages from Americans that are currently on vacation in Cabo San Lucas. They are reporting to me that the owners of these hotels, the owners of the Airbnbs, are reaching out to them right now, telling them that they need to leave as soon as possible.
This raises another question. Is this what's been happening to the people that's been coming up missing overseas, especially Mexico?
Because the Sinaloa cartel is not joking around about this threat. They are going to be coming, and you have a target on your head if you are an American. They do not care about your skin color. They do not care about if you voted blue or if you voted red. They do not even care if you are a Mexican American. If there is an ounce of American in you, you are being advised not to travel to Mexico, especially to its tourist attractions.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. And I can see some dumb slow right now, like shit, I'm going anyway. People need to take this more serious, man. Take life more serious. These people are losing it's crash out culture.
And a way that you can help us spread this message is not only liking and commenting, but share the heck out of this, because your lives, our lives, are worth looking after.
This is a fair warning to the U.S. citizens. If you're in Mexico, it's time for you to get your ass out of Mexico. And if any U.S. citizens planning on visiting Mexico, you don't need to be going nowhere near Mexico. The cartel in Mexico has left a direct, chilling message. They will start killing American citizens on their territory starting this month. Before I go on, I need y'all to share this so everybody can get this message. So this is a direct retaliation for the U.S. seizing their labs and arresting their soldiers. This is not a threat. This is a promise. They will begin eliminating every American citizen that's in Mexico or trying to come to Mexico. Do whatever you want to do with this information. I'm just the messenger. Spread the message.
Yeah, interesting thing in Mexico. If you are of a police organization and you get fired.
So now they're recruiting ex-cop, ex-military. So that's why they're so organized. You wonder why they're organized, because they are the government. They are the cops. They are the law enforcement, the people that were sworn in to protect you. They're recruited. That's why they're going under the radar, because I know somebody, he knows somebody, we know somebody. And if we all know somebody that's in law enforcement, and we can get across whatever we want to get across, to be honest. So money don't just talk, it buys silence. And when power and corruption shake hands, regular people catch all of the fallout. Check this out.
Fired or you quit, you are ineligible to join another police organization. That discounts you. So for somebody like me, who was a professional operations group member or police officer in Mexico of that region, there's no options for me outside of that. So they themselves basically have created this inescapable box for some of these people that go into that line of work. And where do they go after? You know, I've heard offers of $12,000 to join some of these organizations out there. Plus, you know, they get benefits, not like the government, you know. I'm still waiting for my liquidation, my liquidation check. This has been out of service for like 6-7 years. I'm still waiting for my check. So some of these people, it's obvious that the opportunities are presented to them out there are stronger, you know. And again,
when I say be careful, I mean it wholeheartedly. These people are out here losing they fucking marbles. Literally losing it. Just like the guy, Ernest Nichols. 60 years old. Former gym teacher. Convicted of raping a teenage girl. He was supposed to walk out of prison in 2027. But karma don't schedule appointments. Another inmate already facing a murder charge got him. And in prison, certain crimes don't get forgiven. They get handled.
And developing tonight, a former teacher convicted of rape has been killed in prison. 60-year-old Ernest Nichols was found unresponsive Sunday in his cell at Green Correctional Facility. He was a teacher at
Man, they ain't gonna lie. He looked like one of them motherfucking pedophiles. He looked like he was supposed to be around. Man.
At Ranson Middle School in Charlotte and was serving an 18-year sentence. Another inmate, 41-year-old Wilbert Baldwin, is accused of killing him.
The man looked sick. Like, he looked like something wrong with him. That's crazy. People losing their lives. Speaking of people losing their lives, 17-year-old Arturo Gotti Jr., son of a boxing legend, found dead in Mexico almost 16 years after his father died under similar shadows. People see the spotlight. They don't see the weight behind it, though. People will see you in the light, see you shining, doing your thing, but they don't understand what all comes with that. A lot of these celebrities, especially the kids that's of celebrities, like if your father's a celebrity and you're trying to like Big Meech's son, I feel for the boy. Like, man, like those some large shoes to fill. And then you got it bad on both ends, street wise and like industry wise, because he's a celebrity, but he got street cred. You're a street dude with celebrity status. You know what I mean? So he got, anywhere he goes, he's even in Hollywood, they looking at him like, how can you fit those shoes? In the streets, they looking at it like, you ain't fit those shoes. You know what I mean? What you did, what work you put in. So he got it bad on both ends. And that's what happens with a lot of these celebrity kids. And it's sad. So they found Arturo Gotti Jr. in Mexico almost 16 years after his father died under the same pretenses. People like that go through a lot behind closed doors that they'll never let you know and you'll never be privy to. We cheer strength and ignore struggle. But behind the smiles, some people are fighting for their lives in silence. Rest easy, young king. Shout out to Arturo Gotti, man. Arturo Gotti Jr.
No one realized Arturo Gotti Jr. as passing was not an accident. 3 key details uncover a chilling truth. Recently, the tragic passing of Arturo Gatti's 17-year-old son, Arturo Gotti Jr., has saddened everyone. Although his death was initially ruled as suicide, 3 key details have come to light, revealing that the truth behind it is far more complex. First, it's customary for the family of the deceased to release a statement expressing their grief. But in the case of Arturo Gotti Jr., his family not only failed to show any public sorrow, but his death announcement was also released by his bodyguard. and later confirmed by his coach through a social media post. Second, Arturo Gatti Jr. had been undergoing professional boxing training in order to follow in his father's footsteps. He trained for 6 hours a day and had a detailed career development plan. With such a strong, positive focus on his future, it seems impossible that he would have had any motive for suicide. Most importantly, people noticed a disturbing similarity in the way Arturo Gatti Jr.'s body was discovered and the way his father passed away 16 years ago in a mysterious incident in Brazil. Both were found in sealed rooms with no clear evidence of foul play. This eerie coincidence across 16 years is too uncanny to be mere chance. It seems
Man, rest up to that, man. Rest up, King. As we come to a close of this episode of Chicago Unfiltered, we want to take in some of the lessons we learned. Like I said, and I'm going to say it again, you never really know people. Eddie Murphy showed us power in our image. Ohio reminds us history ain't ever really gone. Raleigh, North Carolina, showed us how unpredictable the world is. The Waffle House showed us how fast things can escalate. Michigan proved monsters can live under the same roof. The Cartel reminds us how deep corruption goes. Nicholas showed karma don't miss. And Arturo reminded us pain don't care about fame. Different stories, same message. Protect your energy. Protect your people. The message is you never really know people. You never really know them. So protect your energy. Protect your peace. Protect your people. I'm Molly Ballaray. This is Chicago Unfiltered, where the truth don't need a filter. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Until next time, stay sharp, stay safe, stay real, and always stay dangerous. I'm your host, Molly Ballaray, and I'm out.
Shout out my haters.